place to be. Ain't no need to.
What's up, and welcome to Lunchtime in Lab, your number one gambling podcast for quick picks. These winners. Get my notes pulled up here real quick. I am at 400 YouTube subscribers, so that's pretty cool. We're shooting for 500, and before we know it, we're going to be looking after 1,000, and then everything gets cooler after that. Go ahead and say hi, ask some questions in the comments there. My best part is being able to interact and everything like that. Today's show will probably be a little faster, a little less action or whatever. What's up, Mills? Uh Wife's out running around, and I got one in a swing. I fed up, grumpy, probably ready to go to bed, and then the other one, I'm sure he'll show up and try to get on the camera and visit. He always seems to want to do that. So before we get into today's plays, let's see. Beer money picks. You already know the spiel. 25% off. Essentially, get it $1 a day. Use code lunchtime, all caps, to try it out. We had a kind of a frustrating day for me personally. I mean, like we've been winning in the Discord. Uh, I went 2-0 on college baseball, up 2 units or something like that. And then I got hooked. Went after LeBron first quarter points, thinking he was going to, make a push. 5.5 was the line. He ended at 5, so got hooked there. Then I talked about it on the podcast yesterday. Anthony Davis, his assists at 2.5, he only had 2. Like Austin Reeves had like 14. LeBron had a bunch. Like AD didn't do just anything, but I mean, once again, another hook. So I got hooked twice on the NBA. To lose, I went even. I'm frustrating start in the first 2 days. I think I'm down minus -0.06 units. So I would certainly rather be even than losing, though. So I mean that's certainly the mantra we go after. But today is Sunday 3-3. Before we get into today's plays, again, let's take a look back and see what we did yesterday here. And I am realizing I did not pull my slides up. So give me just a second to see if I can do this without messing up the stream. Got me all discombobulated messing with these kids. Shout out to my man Mills, though. I don't know if he's still in here, but my computer is running perfect. Help me out with some memory or RAM, whatever the hell it is. Cool guy there. Sent me some stuff, and computer's running lean, mean. Let's see. Oh, I just realized I'm big time struggling here for you guys, huh? Let's pull this back up. Now, there we go. That's what it's supposed to look like. All right. So to recap, Anthony Davis didn't do anything for us. Over 27.5 points plus assists. The guy, I didn't even look up his stats. I know he didn't hit it. He wasn't very good. Austin Reeves, 19 points. He was all over it. Austin Reeves, I mean, man, we could have laddered him up. Probably he went over 5 points. No matter where you got it at. I talked about it yesterday. Be like, oh yeah, 13.5, or oh yeah, 14.5. Whatever you get in terms of juice or whatever your line's at. I said, man, forget it. It's not going to matter. He's going to have 16, 17 points. He had 19 points. So, we hit that one, no problem. And then our boy FVV, no doubter there as well. 18.5 points plus rebounds. I don't know if they play the Suns again, but that's going to be, man, that's a good look. I wish I bet that one a little harder, to be honest. Normally I pick out a play in the podcast as my absolute favorite, and then I give it out in the Discord. That definitely should have been the one. Manny almost had a first half cash. He ended up with 29 points and rebounds. He had 24 points combined or alone. So we went over that total points and rebounds with points alone. I mean, that's fantastic, So yeah, this 80 killed every parlay. That's for sure. That dude in the MMA, Javid Basharat or whatever. I mean, pronunciation might be terrible. That guy messed up some parlays. Man, minus 800 favorite. He was shoot, I did it. He was in there in a lot of parlays in the MMA for some juice and stuff. And I didn't watch it. I don't ever watch the fights, but apparently he fucked and didn't really do anything. Let's hop into it though here. Guys, before we get into these plays though, do me a favor, hit that like button if you would. You can get more getting more and more subs every day. So make sure you guys are checking that out. I went in the other day and I changed the chat to subscriber only. I'm using a different program. I don't know if it comes up that way every time, but if you are unable to talk because you have to subscribe, just hit that button and or make an account. Come on in here and enjoy the fun. I definitely like the interaction. The show goes a lot better when I got somebody to talk to. First play, those are going to be Rudy Gobert over 12 and a half rebounds for today. And these games do start a lot earlier. First one starts in about an hour and a half, I think it is. And you got games at like 3 and whatnot. College baseball starts here in just a couple minutes. I already have a couple college baseball plays out in the Discord if you're not in there already. But all right, so this graph is with 29 plus minutes played. All right. So that's kind of the stipulation with this graph. He's over in 8 of his last 10 games with 29 plus minutes played. I did that because he had a couple blowouts recently where he only played like 26 or 27 minutes and he got like, he didn't hit the line, obviously. His average minutes on the year is at 33. So we're just asking for him to get high 20s to low 30s. So it's not like we're asking him to like be at his average or above his average. We're just needing him to play 29 30 minutes, and we'll be looking good in terms of his hit rate that he's at. The main play though is it's a spread, it's a pick 'em spread essentially. It's at 1.5 points, which means that it should not be a blowout, knock on wood. Uh, but you know how the NBA has been, unfortunately. I preach about, that frustration coming in. I can hear him rustling around in the living room. But the main part of the play is Gobert versus Zubac. He averages 13.3 rebounds on his career against them. He's over of his last 10 games facing up against them. Uh, one of which he had oh, what happened here? Oh, my bad. That's my notes up. Here I go. 8 of his last 10 games, including a 21 rebound game against them back in January last year. This year, he's faced the Clippers twice. One time without Zubac, one time with them. The one time without was at 18, and it's not like that's like a fluke or like, oh, well, if he's not in there, he's gonna have more rebounds. Like, yeah, I mean, of course, like they're playing whoever their backup is. That's going to make sense. Rudy's going to take advantage of that. Dude gets boards like crazy, and obviously there's times where he kind of takes things off and stuff like that too. But I get sports. The other time he had 11. However, in that 11 rebound game, he had 22 rebound chances. So he missed out on 11 rebound opportunities. Obviously, all we needed him to do was, I don't know what that line was. He just needed to stick up one or two, get an extra 20% of that, whatever that math obviously comes out to. But the opportunity was there for him to cash. On the year, the Clippers are giving up a pretty average amount of rebounds to centers. So it's a good look. He's playing really well, and he dominates this matchup. So we'll look for him to hopefully look after it, dominate it in this one, coming up. What's up, bud? Watch TV. You're a bad guy. Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay, go watch TV. Yep. Go go see it. The next one. Shh, bud. Hey, you can stay here, but be quiet. What's that? Okay, the second play is going to be. I don't really have a graph for it because there's not much to show on this. So he just had 25 against the Raptors, put up 31 against the Knicks. So, just recently is good form. But then, going back a few games ago, like he hasn't really had much going on, unfortunately. So we're kind of going off of just history here with Curry. Curry, he's over this in 6 of his last 7 games that he's played against the Celtics. The one time that he did miss, he had just 14 minutes and 3 points. I don't know if he had an injury in that game. I didn't see like foul trouble or anything. I highly doubt in a blowout, like he was pulled down early. So I'd imagine he probably got hurt in it. I didn't really go back and research it or anything like that. But so he's essentially over in 6 of 6 if he's played, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever it is. He's essentially hitting this 100% in 6 straight games against the Celtics. And he's had some monster games against them. I mean, he had a 47-point game, a 49-point game going back to like 2 or 3, maybe 4 years ago or something like that. Steph over 26 and a half points is the play. Yeah, I don't think I said it. Steph Curry over 26 and a half points is the play for the second play. Like I said, no graph because there's just not a lot to it. But guards against Celtics have had some success. There's a little bit of a fear with there being What's the spread? -11 or something like that, so talk about a blowout, but, I mean, it's a primetime Sunday game at, like, 3:30. Yeah, there's one other game on. In fact, it might be that Bear game, but, I mean, like, Celtics versus, Warriors, I mean, I don't know if it's on TNT, but, I mean, that's the primetime game. That's the game that people's paying attention to. Steph Curry's threes is set to 4.5 at plus money, I think, so, I mean, they're thinking he's already gonna get 4, that's 12 points right there. I mean, he's been playing, off and on, been playing good, but when he's in the spotlight, though, he normally has a pretty good game. And then Odds is hurt as well. So if Clay ends up coming back into like the starting rotation, I mean, that'll certainly help too. Is that there's another shooter on the court that they'll have to pay attention to that could hopefully open up Curry. Uh, so you never know, I guess, in terms of that. But the second play then is going to be we're going back to the well here, and if it's not broke, don't fix it kind of thing. Jalen Suggs over 13.5 points plus rebounds. You can't deny a little bit of like a streak that he's been on. We cashed this like effortlessly the other day. There's just some bets where you just got to go. Another thought I just kinda had, like, Caris LeVert plays again today, but I know that he's been pretty hurt, but, like, his rebounds and assists have been just nuts, but I'm pretty sure I was trying to pull it up here. Now that Mills hooked my computer up, I can have all these different tabs open without having to worry about my computer catching fire anymore. Uh, LeVert is listed as a game time, although Donovan Mitchell's listed as questionable too. It's a Sunday. These guys probably but, like I said, there's just things where you just bet them and you bet them until it loses. Suggs now over this in 19 of his last 20 games, hitting at a 95% clip in that time frame. And in fact, at home, when he plays at least 24 minutes, he's over at 95% as well. You talk about last time he's at an average of 27 minutes per game. We just need him to play, roughly 24 minutes or so. I think it's 22, in fact, for him to, still have this good looking graph up here. Um, he's faced the Pistons 4 times here recently in his young career. He's gone over 22, 20, 14, and 16. The 14 and 16 was from this year. But in general though too, like we're not even if you throw out like these like little stipulations we have to make this graph look green and perfect. If you take away the home, take away the minutes restriction and everything like that, he's actually over this in 6 straight games. So regardless of what stadium he's playing in, if he's on his home court or not, he's hitting this in 6 straight games. Um, Home or away in 8 of his last 10. I mean, he's been in some good form, and unfortunately, like, the guy lives and dies by the 3, and we talked about that, like, he's leads his team in catch and shoot, he leaves his team in, like, beyond the break threes, and the Pistons, I believe, are, like, the 10th worst in both of those, so it's not the same situation as the last time he was in. We played whoever he went against, like, gave up, like, the 2nd or 3rd or 4th most, catch and shoot threes. I don't remember what it was, but the Pistons are, near the bottom. I mean, 10th worst. I mean, there's, some odd other teams, that are better than them. So good enough matchup. It felt like it was dead in the water last time. Uh, and then in the last 2 minutes, 3 minutes, I mean, he just knocked down threes. He may have very well got hit 3 threes in the last 3 or 4 minutes, to cash us out. And it seemed dead. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh my God, like Jalen Suggs, like came out of nowhere. So unfortunately, you got to ride it down to the end, and kind of just see what happens. But as long as we don't have any sort of like blowout or anything like that, which it has a spread of, I forgot to look. Oh yeah, 11. But the Pistons have been doing a pretty good job of covering recently. Like in fact, like I think they've covered their last like 3 or 4 games, and so the Pistons have been a team that really doesn't stay away. And I honestly, I just hate Paulo Banchero. I don't feel like he does anything. So he's leading this team that's whether or not they're going to blow out the Pistons. I don't think they have that in them. The Pistons have been covering pretty good, so I think we'll probably be okay. To wrap her up though, today, March 3rd, lunchtime in the lab. We're gonna ride with Rudy Gobert over 12.5 rebounds. Steph Curry over 25.5 points. I think I said 26.5 points early, but there is a 25 open on Caesars is where I took it. 25 or 26.5, whatever you want to ride with. I mean, that's cool. I make these graphics ahead of time, go in and type it, and like I said, dealing with the baby and stuff like that, there's a lot going on. And then Jalen Suggs over 13 and a half points plus rebounds. That will be the official Discord play. I just ran out of time. I like to always try to get them out in the Discord before before they pop and move somewhere else. It's at minus 125 on FanDuel right now, but I guarantee it's somewhere better. Bet 365 has had a lot of good numbers and stuff there too. Um, so yeah, but I won't pull that up right now. TJ, what's up? Thank you, sir. 14 people in here right now. If you guys don't have anything else, we can go ahead and probably close this out. Like I said, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button if you haven't hit it. Hit that like button if you haven't hit it. I'm sure it helps in some sort of like algorithm or something like that. If you are following me in the Discord, we got 2 college baseball plays going along. Forget ECU and Kentucky, I think, first, and there was like a 3-leg with some extra juice in there to get it to plus money. But 2-0 yesterday. We're up 10 units already in college baseball. All of those have been in the Discord. The podcast is up 15, 16 units, something like that. I think now we've been going 2-1, 2-1, 2-1 just about every day, trying to get that sweep. Unfortunately, it's just still not quite hit that there for us yet. But as always, I'm your host, Lunchtime in the Lab. We brought to you every day. Thanks so much for listening. Be sure to follow me on all social medias at @LiveJoeBats and get extra plays on Twitter. I attempted to do the 10K challenge. I can't. I just can't do it. I gave out one college baseball play that's supposed to be with a 10K challenge. I swept the other two, and then we lost in extra innings. They give up a 2-run home run at the top of the ninth, and they go into extra. Or no, then they lose. They can't score in the bottom of the ninth. Frustrating stuff, nasty business. But I'm going to close it out here. Make sure you follow me. Also, if you're listening to the audio side, if you're interested in seeing some of the graphs and seeing some of the stuff going on the visual side of it, go on and come over to Lunchtime at Lunchtime in the Lab on YouTube. Close it out here, though. Appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you guys back tomorrow.